I don't know, but I've been told the world outside is oh so cold. So cold. You're alone. You think about me now that I'm gone. When I'm on the road, I often dream and think of you. I'm thinking of you.
Hey guys, what's up? My name is T-Space, and welcome back to another gameplay commentary. Man, I haven't done one of these in like forever, so hopefully I'm not too rusty, but anyhow, let's get into the topic at hand. Basically, my topic is about rifle scopes, and basically my opinions on the three that I've used throughout my time playing Battlefield 3. And basically, in Battlefield 3, I started off with the 4x scope as being my main go-to scope for my M40A5, and I love this scope a lot because it gave me the peripheral vision that not all scopes gave you. Basically, when you would zoom in, you wouldn't have like black screens around your scope, and basically all you can see is whatever your scope is showing you. Basically, you can see like around it, and anticipate what's going to happen. Like, let's say you see a guy to your left or your right, and you're like, oh god, I gotta outscope and then scope back in to correct my shot. And basically that's what I really liked about that. I also like the speed at which I can use the scope at close to maybe medium range, and it gave me this this more of a aggressive or active play style. I used this scope for about, I would say, 4,000 or maybe 5,000 kills before I started switching over towards the 8X. And the two reasons why I switched over to the 8X was because one, the 4X was kind of getting a little too easy. I was becoming very used to it. It didn't pose as much of a challenge as I thought it would be, and I wanted to challenge myself. And the second reason was because the 8X allowed me to get a wide variety of kills, basically at all ranges, whether it's close, medium, or far. And since it was a higher powered scope, I was able to do that. And also, it gave me more of a challenge, so it gave me more incentive to get better at this scope. So when I switched over to the 8x scope, it was very difficult for me to transition from 4x to an 8x, since the scope zoomed in a lot more, and I had to pretty much relearn how to use my gun, or my favorite gun. It took me, gosh, I think it took me about 500 kills or so, or maybe less, I don't know. I wasn't really keeping track, but basically it took me a while to get used to the 8x scope. And when I finally got it down, it was amazing. I just thought the scope was absolutely perfect. I could kill people far range, I could kill people close range, medium range. Just it was all around a good scope for me. And plus, it was one of the stock scopes that you get with this gun. And I tend to think that all stock weapons or stock scopes are probably going to be the best. Even the iron sights on most guns, except for maybe the FAMAS, are probably, are actually pretty good. But anyhow, I used this rifle scope, I don't know if I said, for about 7,000 or 8,000 kills until I got to a cap around 12,000 kills with my M40A5. And then I realized that after the patch, suppression was a pretty big deal. Basically, you would become suppressed faster, and you would stay suppressed longer. And as a sniper, suppression is your worst enemy. You don't want to be suppressed, so that's why you probably run either the cover perk, or you just run and hide for 6 seconds, or however long it lasts. I don't know how long it lasts, but anyhow. So with this new patch, I decided to think of a new theory for suppression. Now, my first theory, if you don't know about it, was that suppression only works if you get hit by, or if they actually miss you with their bullets or with their shots. If they actually hit you with their shots, you shouldn't be suppressed, or technically you shouldn't be suppressed because they're not missing you. So therefore, you won't be suppressed if you're getting hit. So like that's why you might be wondering, oh well, I've been getting hit a lot, but I still got off those shots. It's like, well, because he's hitting you instead of suppressing you. Now, the second theory that I have on suppression is that the higher powered scopes don't get affected as fast as a lower powered scope when it comes down to suppression. I kind of, or actually, let's imagine suppression as levels. So suppression, let's say, without any attachments, without any perks or squad whatevers, is capped at 4. So basically the maximum level of suppression is at 4. So when you start getting suppressed, you start at level 1 and you increase until you get to the cap. Now, let's say you want to add on a scope to your rifle. Let's say you want to add on the 4x scope. Let's say that adds a 0.5. So instead of capping at at 4, it'll cap at 4.5. And basically, that steadily increases every time you want to increase your magnification. So like, let's say you want to use an 8 times scope, it'll increase it by, I don't know, maybe 1.5. Or let's say you want to use the 12 times scope. Let's say that increases it by 0.2 or 1 or 2.0 or something like that. And basically that increases the amount or the level of suppression until you're fully suppressed. Because since you are given more accuracy beforehand, before you are being suppressed, it takes longer for you to lose all that accuracy. I don't know if this is true or not. This is completely still a theory, so you have to keep that in mind and understand that it is a theory. It's not cold hard facts, so don't quote me on it. I'm also telling you this because I want you guys to try it out. I want you to see if what my theory or put my theory to the test, whether it works for you or not. I mean, give me some feedback so I know whether or not this theory is viable. Even if the theory isn't viable, I'll still probably be using the 12 times scope in my future videos, because I think it's a new challenge for me. It keeps me interested in the game. I don't want to keep on using the same thing over and over and over again, because it becomes repetitive. It's not as fun anymore. It doesn't reward me as much. Basically, when I get those amazing shots with a higher powered scope at close range, I think, dang, I'm really good at this game. But then of course I'm not good at this game because I suck. But anyhow, that pretty much wraps up the whole debate about rifle scopes and how I use them, how I got used to them, and all like that. So since I have a little bit of time at the end of this video, I might as well tell you I don't know, some tricks on improving your aim when you're by yourself. Now, if you're by yourself and you don't have a friend to practice with, I would highly suggest going into an empty server and or private server that you own. Or if you don't own a private server yet, then you're gonna have to find an empty server. And basically, in this empty server, what you want to do is you want to find a wall, just any wall. It doesn't really matter. But basically, you want to find a wall that shows bullet marks easily. So basically, if you miss, it'll show bullet marks, or it'll show where your bullet actually hits. So once you find that wall, you want to shoot one bullet anywhere on the wall. It doesn't really matter where. It could be high, low, in the middle of your screen. It doesn't matter. And basically, that is going to be your target shot, your target point. Basically, every other shot that you take has to land on that initial bullet hole. And basically, you can practice by doing drag scopes by like scoping to the left of it and then slowly dragging over the initial bullet hole until you get used to the whole movement of your scope and movement of your gun, and then do this repetitively until you get used to it. To tell you the truth, I use this technique to actually get used to the 12 times scope when I decided to switch over. Now, of course, this is probably the more boring technique or practice that you can actually do. So if you don't have the patience to teach yourself this, then I highly suggest that you don't try this. But of course, if you do want to try this, go ahead and try this. I mean, hopefully it'll help you. It helped me. I actually did this technique for about an hour, which might sound like a long time, but I don't know, it didn't feel that long to me. That's what she said. Oh god. Okay, well, this game is actually wrapping up, and I'll just end it with that because I don't want to start rambling on and getting off topic. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully this made up for my very bad part 2 in Road to Headshots. And like always, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you thought of this video. Give me a like or a dislike so I know for sure. Once again, my name is T-Space, and I will catch you guys later.